Hey, I'm Jay Kumar, the Bass Blaster, and this is your Seafoam Top 5 in Bass Fishing. Number 1, Ray Scott created the whole thing. Woo! Man, I knew that before going to his Celebration of Life service this week in Montgomery, Alabama, where the whole thing started, or where he started the whole thing. But I know it even better now. I mean, it's incredible the stories that these guys told about Ray. And now, yes, okay, Ray did not, invent catching a bass with a hook. He did not invent fishing tournaments, but he invented the whole industry of bass fishing and made it happen. He invented a platform for the whole bass fishing industry to succeed, and it's still going along to this day, 50 plus years later. And he also was key for all the things that went along with all this bass fishing stuff, like catch and release, which he literally had to force down the throats of several state DNRs who didn't want anything to do with it. How about boat safety? That was another thing. How about the Clean Water Act? Ray suing polluters led directly to the Clean Water Act, which is one of the biggest pieces of great legislation for fisheries that there is. So let me say it again. Ray Scott invented, created, whatever, the whole thing. I highly recommend you watch or listen to the service on BassMaster's YouTube. Thank you, Ray. I love you, man. Number 2. Roland Martin. I always thought Roland was one of the most confident, outgoing dudes in bass fishing, and he is, but he wasn't always that way. Check out these amazing words from Ray Scott's ceremony this week.
I didn't know that I could do this. I didn't know that I didn't have the self-confidence in my own abilities, but he gave it to me. Ray did.
Is that amazing or what? That's one thing Ray did. Ray poured into people to help them succeed because he wanted everybody to succeed in bass fishing, not just him. How did that help Roland? Well, Roland is one of the best anglers of all time. Just the 9 Angler of the Year award should tell you that, but he had multiple wins and everything else that went along with that. Plus, he's probably or arguably one of the top 3 TV careers in bass fishing or in fishing as a whole, media careers, whatever you want to call it. And his son Scott is continuing both of those legacies. And by the way, Scott is named after the guy that gave Roland Martin all that confidence. Ray Scott, Scott Martin. How cool is that? Beautiful, man. Number 3. Ooh, Jason Christie is starting to drip some juice on how to fish that Yum FF Sonar Minnow. Now, you might remember Jason won this year's Bassmaster Classic using that bait, but it was never just about the bait. It's a technique, and now he and Yum are starting to drip some details out about it. Check this out.
I can work the bait the length of this table for 10 seconds.
No kidding.
And when I do that, like, it switched. It went from being 1 out of 10 that would bite the swim bait to 9 out of 10.
Wow, so Jason can keep a bait in front of a fish suspended for 10 seconds? I guess a jerk bait could do that, or maybe tight lining a bait, but not efficiently at multiple depths. And that is what he's talking about here. Can't wait to learn more. Number 4. I was on the Japan fishing site Lure News the other day and saw this ultra finesse technique where our Japan bass bros are fishing this 1-inch fish arrow Flash J in this crazy way using forward-facing sonar. Now that was interesting, but what was more interesting was the fact that the little foil strip inside this 1-inch bait was helping them see the bait better on forward-facing sonar, which of course is super important if all you got is a little 1-inch bait. Now by foil, I don't know if they mean a little metal strip in there, or a little piece of mylar, or maybe it's something else, but it'll be interesting to find out. The only folks I'm aware of in the United States that make a soft plastic bait with a little piece of foil or mylar or something in it is Lunker Hunt with their bento minnow and swim bento, and they used to make other soft plastic baits with foil in it. Maybe they'll bring them back. Maybe we'll see other baits with it. Maybe we'll see skirts for jigs and whatever else with a little mylar or foil in it, if it shows up great on forward-facing sonar. Can't wait to find out. Number 5. All right, the walleye cheating deal. I mean, I don't even want to talk about it, but the internet blew up about it. I guess because it's the internet, and we haven't had one of these in a while in the sport of fishing. But really? Weights in a fish?
We got weights and fish!
There we go!
I mean, that's like going to Vegas and trying to cheat with cards up your sleeve. Or taking an exam and you wrote out the words on your hand. I mean, come on, man.
Come on, man!
I mean, I'm glad they're caught, and props to the TD for catching them, but I don't think this is a big deal at all, except for the fact that these guys apparently passed multiple polygraphs in the recent past. Now, I'm not sure what that means, if anything, but it is interesting. Okay, but either way, it has bupkis to do with bass fishing, and at this point, it's like sawing sawdust, man. Let's move on, everybody. Over and out. All right, that's all I got for you this week. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Seafoam. Go to BassBlaster.com or .rocks to sign up for the awesome Bass Blaster email to get all the juice. See you next week. God bless you.